Journal. I'm Steffanie Rivers. Come on in, kings and queens, and get ready for the conversation. I'm Steffanie Rivers, and we are TriCasting on YouTube and Facebook Live and LinkedIn. So if you're on one of those platforms, we want to welcome you to the conversation. And although you might be texting or writing in the chat, I might not see it depending on what platform you're on. If this is your first time joining the conversation, we want to thank you for being here. And just in case you are looking live and you want to comment, just to make sure I get it, I have a number I want you to text. The number is 214-919-9360, and I have put that in the conversation chat, so you can text me, and then I will see your information on my cell phone. If you are returning or if you're new, welcome and welcome back. Be sure to like and share and subscribe so that when I post videos, normally on Sunday evening, you will get them. So we want to, what we're talking about today is what happened earlier today. The city of Chicago's top attorney, the top corporate counsel, he just resigned earlier today. If you are in Chicago, you probably already know this. And if not, this is just like breaking news. His name is Mark Flessner, and Mark Flessner has resigned. I'm going to show you a picture of Mark Flessner. And that's Mark Flessner, the white guy with the glasses. He's standing next to Lori Lightfoot. She is the mayor of Chicago. So Mark Flessner, he just resigned earlier today. And he was, before, as top attorney for the city of Chicago, Mark Flessner was in charge of defending anything and anybody that did any duty under the guise of working for the city. So if you work for the police department or the fire department, if you were a teacher, if you were a janitor for the city of Chicago, and you did something wrong and somebody wanted to sue the city of Chicago, Mark Flessner's department would be in charge of defending the actions of those individuals. And that's what happened with Miss Anjanette Young. That's what she's doing. She's trying to sue the city of Chicago for something that happened to her in 2019, February of 2019, almost 2 years ago. In case you missed what happened, the video was released a couple of days ago. I'm going to put the link in the chat now. And also, when I post the written version of my journal, I'm going to put the link in so you can get that information and look at it in case you did not see the video that was released all over the country a couple of days ago. Essentially, Chicago police, they broke into Miss Young's home serving a no-knock search warrant. So here we go again with these no-knock search warrants. Miss Young had just come home from work. She's a social worker, and she was naked. She was changing clothes like most of us do. If you wear a uniform or you wore what you wore to work, you don't want to do that. You got clothes, you change clothes. She was in the middle of changing clothes when about 12 white male cops broke down her door and burst in. Their cameras were rolling. They videotaped her naked, and they were trying to serve a no-knock search warrant. And they were in the wrong house. They were at the wrong location. She told them that at least 40 times on the video, you got the wrong house. Okay, so they were looking for a neighbor who lived nearby, who incidentally was wearing a an ankle monitor that you get when you're on probation or you get house arrest or whatever. And they had the cops taking the time to track the guy's ankle monitor, they would have realized that they were in the wrong location. But they didn't do that. They didn't do what is logical. They acted with total disregard for the possibility that they could be wrong, and they were wrong. And so let's put a pin in the Chicago issue and let's go nationwide. A lot of times, in fact, 8 times out of 10, police get it wrong when they burst into somebody's house trying to serve a warrant, a no-knock warrant. No, it happens at the expense of Black and brown people 8 times out of 10 when they get it wrong. They point guns at people who are innocent. They break down your door. They break up your possessions. They sometimes kill innocent people, or they just kill children. They kill family members. They kill somebody else who is not even the target of the warrant. We already know the names of those people. And so too many names to count or to say, but here we go again with police officers having disregard for human life and property and trying to, they claim, serve no-knock warrants. And if that's not egregious enough, when you try to hold these bully, liar, killer cops accountable in a court of law after the fact, then you have judges saying, well, they were just acting on what they thought they were supposed to be doing or looking for who they thought was there, and they don't even hold them accountable. And so that's why we say that legalized genocide is a real thing. So let's put a pin in the national, because we're going to come back, and let's go back to Chicago. So I can tell you how this dude, this attorney, Mark Flessner, comes in to play in this whole situation. When Miss Young tried to get a copy of the video of her incident that happened with the police, she filed a Freedom of Information Act request to get the information, and Mark Flessner's city law department blocked her request, would not allow her to get a copy of the video. That's like going to the police department and asking for a police report that's public information, and they tell you they're not giving it to you. That's illegal. So first of all, they blocked her request. So she said, okay, I got something for y'all. I'm gonna get my own attorney and I'm gonna sue y'all. So when she got her own attorney, then Flessner's department, representing the city of Chicago, released the video to Miss Young of her botched raid. Then when she took that video to a local Chicago TV station, and the TV station was going to air the botched raid story as a part of their overall look into the police department and how they do these no-knock search warrants, then Flessner, who is over the city's legal department, tried to get a federal judge to block them from showing the video. A federal judge denied the request, and that's the only reason why we saw the video just a few days ago, because he tried to block it. And so for 2 years, they had been going back and forth just for 2 years. So now let's talk about Lori Lightfoot. And a lot of us, Chicago has been in the news for a lot of different reasons, so we already probably know, but in case you don't, let's show you a picture of this same picture again. The white guy with the glasses is Mark Flessner, who just resigned today from being the top attorney for the city of Chicago. And the Black woman right there is Lori Lightfoot. She is the mayor of Chicago. So Miss Lori Lightfoot, a few days ago, when she was asked about the issue of the no-knocks, the raid that happened with Miss Young, Lightfoot claims she was just learning about the video like everybody else was learning about the video. I don't know nothing about this video, but it turns out that she's been knowing about this issue for over a year. So at the same time as Flessner was trying to keep Miss Young from getting a copy of the video, Lori Lightfoot already knew about the issue. There's no way that the city of Chicago's mayor didn't know. So she's in on it. She turned her back and let Flessner do what he does and try to block this woman from getting the video so that she can move forward with a lawsuit. So that's what's going on with Lori Lightfoot. Now, unless you might think, oh, Mark Flessner is probably a good guy, an attorney. He's the top guy. He doesn't know what's going on. So in case you think he's just a good guy in a bad situation, here's what we know about Mark Flessner. He is not above hustling the system for his own benefit, because around the same time last year, it was revealed that Mark Flessner, the attorney who just resigned today as the Chicago's top attorney for the city, he was hustling the system. Here's what he was doing. You know, there's such a thing, if you own a property, it's called the Homestead Act, meaning if you have a property and you call it your primary residence, you can get a tax break on your property taxes. So as a city's top attorney, he was supposed to live in the city. So he has a condo in Chicago, but he really lived in Naperville, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. So one, he was telling a lie about his primary residence. Two, he was claiming the Homestead Act for both residents. So he was getting a tax break over here and a tax break over there. That's lying and cheating. So the top attorney is a liar and a cheater. Okay, so he didn't get fired. Lori didn't fire him. She only made him return the money from the Homestead Act tax break that he was getting. So I know that's illegal. You mean to tell me the top attorney didn't know it was illegal, although he claimed, oh, it was just a mistake. I just didn't know. So she didn't fire him. She let him continue to keep his job. And I don't know if he eventually moved to the city or not. But anyway, he's not like above hustling the system, just like any old other common criminal, okay? But they didn't bust up in his house trying to serve a warrant. They just told him, go on and pay the difference, dude, and call it a day. Meanwhile, the rest of us, we being held to the utmost top of the law. So anyway, in the meantime, now I'm going back to the video. It turns out after the video of Miss Young's botched raid was released a few days ago, now you got a couple of Chicago aldermen who want to right the wrong done to Miss Young. They're like, oh, we need to make it right. We need to settle with her, write her a check. Okay. So first of all, the city of Chicago leadership, they've been knowing for quite some time that they are crooked as hell. Okay. You don't have to look no further than Laquan McDonald's video coming to light, where and then let me put in here Laquan McDonald. Laquan McDonald's video. Now, just in case you are unfamiliar with Laquan McDonald's video, that was the video, I think Laquan was around 16 or 17. He had a knife. He was walking down the street. Apparently somebody had called the police on him. The police had him surrounded. They were at least 10, 12 feet away from him, surrounded, had their cameras on, and one of the police officers shot him at least 10, 15 times as he spun around and died on the street from 16, 17 shots. Okay, so city of Chicago, they covered that up for years before we saw the video. And then just recently, they tried the police officer, can't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about, and you can do the research, tried him, and they found him guilty, so guilty, they found him guilty of like 10 or 15 counts of whole bunch of felony counts. So much so that he could have been in jail for in prison for over 100 years based off of the number of counts that he was found guilty. But you know what a judge did? A judge said, oh, that's too much. Let me just put him in prison for, I think, gave him like 20 years. How much time you think he's gonna do? Okay, that's the question. So this is another reason why we as voting tax-paying citizens need to pay attention to who these federal judges are and who these judges are. The president of the United States appoints judges. And so even though you might not want to vote for somebody over another person, you need to know that the person who eventually gets elected is going to have a lot of power to appoint federal judges, one. So, number two, if the city aldermen, if they're willing to write you a check right quick to get rid of you, that tells me you probably are due at least double of what they're trying to pay you right now. Now, I wasn't the aggrieved. It wasn't my body that was exposed on camera. It wasn't my property that they came in guns, at my face. But I would say if you don't waited 2 years to come this far, then what's the harm in waiting, not taking that check and seeing what you and your attorney can work out with them, because you're probably due double than what they are trying to offer you right now. So back to the story. Quick settlements are really, when somebody want to pay you fast, it's probably because they want to, it's to their benefit to pay you fast. So it was revealed that the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, she knew about this video more than a year ago. And so now she's, he quit the top attorney, Flessner. He resigned today. So that's going to try to save face from Ms. Lightfoot to say, okay, he resigned and the problem is over. But y'all been knowing y'all had a problem for years. The time to fix it is to prevent it from happening, not to wait until they burst in somebody's house and now all of a sudden you want to pay them off with taxpayer money that's supposed to be going to better the system when you're just using it to put a Band-Aid on the system. So if you live in Chicago, don't let Lori Lightfoot, don't let her scapegoat Flessner, who we know is not above hustling the system. Don't let them walk away and think that, oh, we fixed it by paying them off and now we're done with it. Y'all need to question them, question your local politicians, as we all do across this country. Now let's get back to the big picture of these no-knock warrants. The Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, as a matter of fact, I got my own little copy of the Constitution that I have, and somebody was giving them out one day, and I just decided to get one, and it's like real little. And so according to the Constitution of the United States, your Fourth Amendment right is supposed to, the Fourth Amendment is supposed to shield you, to protect people and their property from unreasonable searches and seizures. And that is supposed to keep people from busting in your house with a no-knock warrant, talking about they are looking for certain people. That's what the Fourth Amendment is supposed to do. But as with most things written, it's called de facto and de jure. De jure is the written word. De facto is what actually happens. So de jure Fourth Amendment Constitution, Fourth Amendment to the Constitution is supposed to protect you. De facto is that the cops come up with their own reasons why they do stuff, and more times than not, they go to a judge. There's that judge thing again that we need to be worrying about. They go to a judge and say, hey, judge, the person that we're wanting to serve this no-knock warrant on, they've possibly got guns, they're doing illegal stuff. We don't want them to know we're coming, and we want a no-knock search warrant so we can surprise them. But here's what happens. If somebody comes to your house, whether or not you're doing anything wrong or not, if they try to break down your door and you don't know who it is, what do most people do? They defend themselves. And the Second Amendment says that you have a right to bear arms and defend yourself with those arms that you are bearing. So people coming in, you don't know who they are, you get to shooting. Now the police, if that's who it is, claims, oh, they started shooting, so we shoot back. So now you got a whole bunch of gunfire going on under the guise of, oh, we serving a no-knock search warrant. Well, how the hell do I know who you are? And you in the wrong house, as a matter of fact. So now when you try to go and hold these police officers accountable, you, depending on the judge, they might not even be held accountable. In the meantime, most often than not, it's Black people who are killed or maimed, or their family members. Your house is all torn up, and police walk away because they don't care anything about you anyway. That's why police are the people who make the decision as to whether or not they need a no-knock search warrant or whether they're going to take you down peaceably. Most of the time, it's the Black people who get who get bum rushed, who their houses get raided. Most of the time, it's the white people who they let you come on out the house and then they just take you peaceably, or they walk upon you at the grocery store and they walk you out quietly, or they catch you in the library, white people, on reading a book, and now they take you peaceably out of the library. Don't need nobody know nothing happened. But it's Black and brown people who will sleep in the middle of the night and they come in guns blazing and don't care who they shoot and who they hurt. So here's what we need to do, Black and brown people. If you don't know locally, no-knock search warrants are mandated, or they're used by local police departments. So what you need to find out, whether you live in California or you live in Texas or you live in Alabama, Oklahoma, or Iowa, you need to find out in your local jurisdiction, are no-knock search warrants being used? Are they allowed? And if they are being used, you need to go to your city council representative and your mayor and tell them you want it abolished right now. What we need to do in 2021 is we need to have a unified platform as to what we are trying to accomplish. So if your city council person does not want to put forth legislation to abolish no-knock search warrants, then you need to vote them out of office. You need to go find somebody who will run against them, even if it's you, and you need to make that your platform. Because it's not just about Black and brown people, it's that we are overwhelmingly affected by this. Everybody should care. Everybody should not want police to just be able to show up in your house and you and your amendment rights are violated. Nobody should want that. So everybody should be on the same page. Now we know everybody ain't gonna be on the same page, and because when you look at it, the people who claim that they care about Black and brown people's lives, they don't care that much, because when you try to get them to change laws, they come up with all the excuses why we need to wait until it's our turn. Meanwhile, people are dying every day, getting shot and killed every day. No-knock search warrants are getting used against us every day, and we need to stop it today. So regardless to where you live, we need to start building a national platform as to what we are going to do together. And that should be number one: abolish no-knock search warrants in your jurisdiction, while we are working on community policing, AKA defund the police. Yeah, I said it. Defund the police. We need to have community policing. And that just means Police officers should be required to live in the zip code or the jurisdiction where they work. Just like Mark Flessner was supposed to live in Chicago if he worked for the city of Chicago. If you are a police officer in any jurisdiction, you need to live in that city. Because what happens is you're less likely, that police officer will be less likely to gun down or to bully, lie, kill his neighbor. Because his kids go to school with her kids. They go to church together. They see each other at the grocery store. He knows her uncle. You see what I'm saying? So you treat people differently when you know them. So the problem is that these cops, they don't know you, they don't give a damn about you, and so therefore they treat you like that. Well, they need to take that on up the street to where they live, and let's see how many people they bully, lie, and kill up the street next door. They ain't gonna do it. So that's why I believe in defund the police and community policing. But let's start with these no-knock search warrants. So that's our 2021, as we move into 2021, that's our common denominator platform goal across the country. Put a stop to the no-knock search warrants. So if you need help with that, how to organize it or what to say, putting together a letter or something like that, I can help you with that. Text me at area code 214-919-9360 today. Let's get organized, because the life you save might be your own, people, might be somebody you know, somebody you love, your friend. So again, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I put in the links in, but when I post the video of, when I post my written version of my journal, because I do the video and I do the written version, I am going to put in the written version the links to the information about Miss Anjanette Young's 2-year-long ordeal. Okay. And we need to start holding people accountable, not 4 years from now, not next spring, right now, today. You wanted my vote today. I'm holding you accountable when? Today. All right. So there you have it. To find out more about the things that I care about, go to the written version of my journal. It's at eurweb.com. Thanks, and have a super